But that can make you feel defeated too. Like, I even started, like, this is how crazy it got for me. I even was like, well, what about the women in the military? What about them? They don't get to rest. Like, I even started saying stuff like that to myself. So I was like, get up anyway. And I was like, what the? Like, you're not in the military, Rachel. So you can sleep. Like, what the fuck? That was the type of discipline it started going into. So I was like, you're being way too hard on yourself. But that does go back into addiction. I treated myself so bad for so long that
Yeah,
it goes back into that.
exactly. And now you're being hard on yourself when you're not what you consider perfect each day, and it's, you're being hard on yourself because you took a break or you skipped something or whatever.
This is Rock Bottom with Ryan. No sugarcoating, no filters. The pain, the chaos, the truth. No bullshit. Just recovery.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching another episode of Rock Bottom with Ryan. I just want to let you know that this episode is brought to you by Sober Strong Apparel. Sober Strong Apparel makes heavyweight premium gear for people who take sobriety seriously. 10% of every order goes back to recovery centers. Sober Strong also runs an impact sponsorship program that puts gear directly into facilities for people just starting out. So if you're sober curious, check out Sober Strong Apparel, grab some gear, rep the crew. And also use code ROCKBOTTOM, all capital letters, for 15% off. Now 15% off. Used to be 10, now you get 15% off this gear. Love what this company represents. They support sobriety. Stay sober, stay true, rep the crew. Get yourself some high quality clothing, y'all. Enjoy this episode. All right, welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom with Ryan and Rachel. It's just me and my co-host Rachel here today to have a little quick sip of sobriety, which we like to do every month or two, just sit and talk about different topics together and things that we're passionate about or current events and stuff. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
today we're going to talk a little bit about the word yet, the you're eligible to. It means a lot of different things to different people. And we're going to talk a little bit about chaos in our lives and how in recovery, we still kind of are addicted to the chaos. And when it's not around, we try to find it. And that's an interesting topic that
Mm-hmm.
Rachel and I were just talking about. And
Yeah.
other habits that we kind of developed in recovery, including like fitness, that could be considered an addiction sometimes because you said you didn't go to the gym today and it's
Yeah.
bothering you mentally. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a big thing to kind of recognize,
Yep.
because if I don't get my 5 days in, my OCD is so bad that I have to go like on a Saturday or Sunday or something if I don't do it Monday
Mm-hmm.
through Friday. And I'm pissed at myself all week that I have to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, no,
So,
same. Literally,
yep.
yeah, I wanted to kick myself in the fucking face for not going to the gym today. But I had to listen to my body. I let myself sleep another hour and a half instead of waking up at 5:30 in the morning because sorry for the TMI, whatever. But my time of the month is coming and you really, us women, you need to listen to your body. Like you could still work out, but if your body is there's a difference between discipline and like you really need to listen to your body. You feel physically fatigued. That's how I felt this morning. I couldn't get out of bed. So I was like, all right, fine. And then I had to give myself grace a little bit because I was like, you know what? You do this you're a very disciplined person. Give yourself grace. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, give ourselves a break sometimes. I mean, not only are we like work doing a 24/7 job of staying in recovery after we were both addicts for years and years, we were used to certain habits. We didn't have, healthy habits like in the midst of our drinking and addictions and stuff. So it's like now that we're sober and trying to get through every day sober, we get down on ourselves for like taking a break from the healthy things that we're used to doing. But like we should still, like you said, give ourselves grace because it's like, well, we went to the gym the last 4 days. Why am I mad at myself that I didn't go today? But like, and you're sober and you're giving yourself a break. And even with that time of the month,
yeah.
which I clearly don't know what that does to the body. I don't feel it myself, but
So,
I can understand that, that's a pretty justifiable reason to take a little break for a day.
but that can make you feel defeated too. Like I even started like this is how crazy it got for me. I even was like, well, what about the women in the military? What about them? They don't get to rest. Like, I even started saying stuff like that to myself. So I was like, get up anyway. And I was like, what the? Like, you're not in the military, Rachel. So you can sleep. Like, what the fuck? That was the type of discipline it started going into. So I was like, you're being way too hard on yourself. But that does go back into addiction. I treated myself so bad for so long that
Yeah.
it goes back into that.
Exactly, and now you're being hard on yourself when you're not what you consider perfect each day, and it's you're being hard on yourself because you took a break or you skipped something or whatever,
Mhm.
like, I've been mad at myself, when I don't work out on time, like, even when I was functional drinking, because usually I'd have these months where I was functional drinking, where I knew how much I drank every day, but I was still waking up and working out, like, my days were so depressing, though, now that I look back at it, like, I would get off work, I would take my sleep meds at 6:30 p.m., fall asleep at like
Oh, wow.
8 p.m. So I had no social life between work and going to bed. And then
I
I
didn't
would
know that.
wake up at 3:30 or 4 a.m., do like a 3-hour workout. I was like obsessive about it and I would do my stock trading and then I'd go to work and do the same thing. That was like depressing though. Like I had a routine, but it was
Yeah.
like felt like I was in the military, but it was like I never told myself, "Hey, I'm actually not in the military and nobody's actually holding me accountable besides myself." But I was proud of myself, but I
Yeah.
had no life. And now that I am in
Mhm.
recovery and I've cut out the alcohol and cut out the drugs. And now it's like I'm trying to give myself, a pep talk to actually have a life outside of just trying to stay sober. And we
Yeah.
have to, give
Yeah.
ourselves grace, like you said. And that's kind of hard sometimes because we want to hold
Yeah.
ourselves
What do
accountable and
you
we
do
want to do
other
all
than the
these
gym?
things.
I agree.
I do. Well, this podcast is like a big, healthy hobby of mine. Like, I love the working on it, shooting the episodes, editing it. I mean, it's a process and it doesn't feel like work because I feel like, it keeps me busy and it does feel like I'm obligated to do it sometimes because I really want to make
Yeah.
sure I get the episodes out on time and stuff and make sure the listeners have the material every week. And that feels good. But then other than that, it's like I kind of like to practice working on cars and stuff. That was kind of a hobby. I haven't been doing it as much lately because I fixed up a truck and resold it. So I don't have anything to work on at the moment. But, just things like that or friends I know from my
That's cool.
meetings. I spend time with them. They ask me to help them with things like, I helped one friend build a fence, last year. I help another guy work on his Jeep sometimes. So I do things to stay busy, but I feel like if I sit around and just to get in my head, that's where I have a problem. And I don't know if you still have that problem where it's like you sit still and your mind starts to race.
Well, yep, that brings up the chaos. I thrive off of chaos, you know that. But like it's I'm not just saying that. Like I really do. Like I could have when you were here in Florida, my dad was in the hospital. I was a- I don't even I was just doing what I got to do. Like I don't know, there's no time to cry for me, I guess. Like I just do tunnel vision and back in addiction, I would just sit and cry and not handle things. So now it's just like boom, boom, boom. But my life is extremely chaotic. I've said this so many episodes, but it's true. There's always something crazy going on, like something absurd, and nobody believes me. Sometimes I'm like, no, I swear to God, like this is really happening. Like, but I'll have crazy things going on and I thrive off of it. And that's probably a lot of disassociating though. That's due to trauma. So I talked about it with my therapist and I'll say it on air. Like, 2 weeks ago, she said straight up, she was like, "I don't think you would know like what to do without the chaos. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
you would know what to do. You would, so and I can't sit still either because I also found out I have ADHD very severely in sobriety. So sitting
Yeah.
still is not a thing. Even at my job when I'm, not running around with patients, what I have to sit, I notice I'm like taking payments or I'm even billing and I'm standing up. Like I have my chair pushed aside and I'm like standing up typing. I'm like, okay, like there's really no sitting still for me. And I'm okay with it, but you do need to rest. You need to relax. So that's something I've been working on all sobriety, learning how to just
Yeah.
chill.
Just chill. Yeah. I've noticed after getting to know you a little bit when like something's going some kind of like obstacles come up in your life, do you kind of like jump to like you're kind of black and white about it? Like you jump to like conclusions. You're like, oh, my life's falling apart, instead of kind of thinking, hey, I'm sober now. I can like solve this problem. I can get over this. It's just one little thing. Do you kind of think that way, or are you
Mhm.
working on that?
I don't try to come across that way, and I know I say things like that. I'm like, "Man, why does this," I'll go off, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm handling it. So I do end up having like I have spirals because it's a lot at once sometimes, I mean a
Mm,
lot of stuff
yeah.
happening at once. So
Yeah.
it's chaotic, and like my therapist said, I mean it's just something I have to kind of just go through because a lot of the stuff is out of my own control.
Yeah.
Same reason why I was drinking, all the things I was angry about my mother and things like that. All that stuff was out of my control. So
Hmm.
like now,
Yeah.
it's out of my
Now.
control. What happened with my
Yeah.
dad, the cats, it's out of my
It's kind of like
control.
it's kind of like that term "let them" or whatever. It's just like whatever, just let it be.
Yes.
It's kind of just one of those things. It'll fix itself, and it's already happened. What can we do about it?
Yeah.
Me, my
Yeah.
problem, I still freeze up when I get overwhelmed with problems, whether it's relationships or work related stuff or finances or anything. I just freeze up and I don't do anything about it for like a few days. And then I procrastinate on solving the problem. That's still a problem in my life. But I know
Mm,
sober, I can fix it. I just wish I jumped at it and solved it sooner. Like there was something last week. I won't go into detail about it on the podcast, but like you had some stuff going on and you were overwhelmed and you jumped to a really intense conclusion, a negative
mhm,
conclusion right away. And then within like 10
mhm.
minutes, all of a sudden it was like, oh no, it actually worked out. And now all these positive outcomes.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm
I'm
talking
like,
about.
"What
But
is which
yeah.
thing?" I was like, "Which thing?"
But then you had
That's
more
how
positive
chaotic.
outcomes. But then you had more positive things come from the outcome than you would have expected beforehand.
Oh my gosh, yes, now I literally know what you're talking.
Yes,
Thank
but I did
God,
notice
yeah.
that was a good example of a situation, and I'm sorry to our
I'll
listeners,
say it
we
on
won't
air.
talk about it. Oh, you said on yeah, explain it
I'll
on
say
air,
little
I mean, if
things.
you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna like say detail. So a wedding is very expensive, very
Yeah.
expensive. I was told by a lot of people, don't have a wedding. And I'll go into detail about this. So it's a good topic. I was told by so many people when I got proposed to, don't have a wedding. It's so expensive. And mind you, if you know anything about my story, you do. But to the listeners, I grew up with very little, like to the point that sometimes lights would not be on. I didn't have food in the house. My dad really struggled raising me and my sister alone. He was a single father. My mother was an addict. So I didn't have anything nice at all. And I said that in my breakdown, I think to you. So I didn't have anything nice. So when people were like, don't have a wedding, it's so expensive. Me and John, my fiance, who also didn't have nice things, we were both like, screw all of you. We're going to do this. We're going to do this and we're going to make it happen. Financial struggles happen. We've been engaged for almost a year. The wedding's coming up and we needed a loan straight up. And everything was working in our favor. Good credit on his end. I have mistakes because of addiction, so we can't use me. I'll take
Yeah.
accountability for that.
Yeah.
So here we are leaning on my fiance who has done so much for me and stuck by me through addiction. Now he's trying to marry me and take out a loan to pay to marry me at a wedding
That's
though,
pretty
a
cool.
nice wedding. Right. And
I
we were getting denied right and left, or he was right and left, and we didn't know why. So I did have a breakdown, and then I texted you and I said in that message, I was like, nothing, I'm not meant to have nice things. I'm just not. I'm not meant to have nice things. Like, just forget about it. Like, it's fine. And then within actually 15 minutes, 20 minutes of that message, I finally heard back from my fiance who is at another loan company and he got approved for an even bigger loan. And yeah, the wedding's happening and we're going to pay that loan off. But I felt like I was crashing and burning. I did feel like that.
yeah.
I felt like that little girl, like nothing good
Mhm.
ever happens to me. I didn't want to come off sounding spoiled. It was like
A lot
almost
of
just like,
negative
I'm not meant to
self-talk
have
though.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the most
That
negative I've
came
heard you
out.
sound since I've known you. So I was like really concerned about
For
it. I'm
real?
like, God, I hope something good happens. I was like thinking in my head, I hope she gets good news soon and good news. And then all of a sudden it's like you come back with good news. You're like, not only is the
Mhm.
wedding still on and it's gonna happen, but you're like, I don't have to like, do side hustles anymore or anything like that. I was like, cool.
Yeah. You guys, I don't do crazy OnlyFans though, you guys, so don't go looking for that.
Yeah, I
No,
know if I
side
said
hustles
side
and like I
hustles,
really work
everybody would
hard.
wonder. Yeah,
Yeah, like they're
exactly.
searching for me on OnlyFans. Nope, not there. Don't waste your time.
Sorry, guys. Ratchet Rachel does not do OnlyFans.
Sorry. No, but you know what? Rachel and OnlyFans, we could hire someone. That's a different talk. No, but for real, I was in a negative spot and then he contacts me and then we're approved and then it's happening and then some. So it's a big deal. And I actually literally felt like I could breathe because I've
Yeah,
also been behind on money since my cat passed away in October. So it's
yeah,
like it set me back like 600, $700 and I'm still recovering. So yeah,
yeah.
that put me in a
And
very
that's
dark spot.
that's what sucks. Is like I think about all the money we were spending going out and drinking, spending it on drugs, this or that, and we would always like be, like wondering, okay, well, I can pay the bills or whatever. But when things come up now, like last week when I got pulled over. And I was excited to get
Mhm.
pulled over sober for some reason. I was like, hell yeah, I get to talk to a cop and I don't have to worry this time. That was kind of cool. But then like, I still get this ticket and I have to pay this reinstatement fee for my license or whatever. But I was like trying to like, I was about to let it make me depressed for a while. I was like, oh well, I guess I'm not gonna buy Jordans this month, or I'm not gonna, I don't know, like I'm
Right.
just gonna have to be frugal for a while or this or that. And then I was just like, no, you know what? I feel like I'm in a better position now. I don't have to worry about going to jail. Like there's so many, when these things come up, you have to think about all the positive things. Like it could have been so much
Yeah.
worse. I could be getting arrested. I could
Yeah.
be having to worry about another DUI that'll last like another 3 years. But it's like, these are things that this is life. Life is still happening, and we still have these little
Mhm.
things that we have to fix. Like your cat passing away, it's not like you planned on that months and months before. It happened, just like that, and you're like, crap. But at least you can handle it sober. So, and you
Well,
handled
yeah,
it.
I wouldn't have wanted that any other way though. Jasmine and Abu back to back like that. I don't know. And we were just recently speaking to somebody about grief and sobriety, and I agreed with him highly. There's no better way to go through grief than sober, which sounds crazy, but it's true. Like, so going through grief and life situations sober, it's just better because we're clear headed and getting pulled over by a cop and being excited about it. I am proud of you for that.
Yeah,
If a
I
cop
shook his
drives past
hand and
me,
I
I
was
am
like,
freaking out.
guess what? I was like, I was just doing something AA related and I'm on my way home. I was going to go to the grocery store. Like, well, how can I help you? And he's like, well, you're speeding. I'm like, oh, crap. Okay. Well, he gave
Yeah,
me a warning for the speeding, but then he told me there was something I didn't deal with after my DUI regarding my license. And I was like, oh, okay. But I'm like, I'm
yeah,
not going to jail though. He's like, no, it's all good. So I got it handled and talked to a couple people close to me about it. And I was just kind of like, there's a lot of positives in this. It's cool that I look at, an encounter with, I know you have your issues with police officers too, trauma from that.
mhm,
So I respect that. But for me, like I never really had trauma with cops because I knew if I was getting in trouble, I pretty much earned it. And I dodged so many
yeah,
bullets over the years. And like if I would have gotten caught doing all the things that I've done and times I drove drunk, I would probably be, 10 life sentences or something. So I'm like, this time
my
around, I'm
God.
like, okay, I'm actually not doing anything. So this is good.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I still have extreme respect for cops. I'm not like against cops or anything. I do have the trauma. I haven't been pulled over since the trauma though, sobered. So I'm afraid of that. Even though I'm sober, I'm still afraid of getting pulled over, but that's because I'm afraid of the lights and that goes into PTSD. So yeah, but cops do scare me. It's, I think, authority. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. It's deep rooted, but that would be a whole other, a whole
Yeah.
other episode. But you still having some that goes into the consequences though, like of that we have to kind of think of that
That still come back
dwindle
to bite
over
us.
our head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
you said
I
finances,
would have
that
been
that
upset.
issue's come back to bite you a few times with like whatever you call it,
Yeah.
paychecks or whatever and stuff like that, and credit and stuff. I mean, I know there's all these things. Like I've built my credit and destroyed it in my addictions and rebuilt it and then destroyed it and then had to rebuild it again and then like,
Yep.
all the things from the DUI like almost 3 years later and I'm still getting reminded about it, and it's just like okay, well, I made these mistakes, but I'm not making them anymore. So that's how I have to look at it now. And it's there's positives in it
Exactly, though.
because it's like, I don't have to worry anymore. And if I'm paying this reinstatement fee for my license or if I have to go to court next month to kind of contest that ticket, it's okay
Yeah.
because I'm in a position to do it now and fight it with pride and
Mhm.
not be sitting tucking my tail between my legs, drinking myself to death, being like, God, I fucked up again.
Did you, like, drink when you were on probation? When you
Gosh. After I got arrested,
I
the
would.
first thing I did when I got out of jail is my ride that I had a friend bail me out, and then my ride was they were coming to pick me up at jail, and I actually had the audacity to say, "No, please pick me up at the mini mart halfway between where my car was and where jail is." And that was only
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm just on a walk. I'm trying to think, but no, I just wanted to go to the mini mart and I grabbed two 24-ounce cans, chugged them as fast as I could. And then when they picked me up, I was
Mhm.
already on a nice buzz and I was laughing about my DUI and it really hadn't hit reality. And I continued to casually drink for a few months after that until I had to go to court. And then after I'd gotten probation fees and stuff, I was kind of like trying to slow it down a little bit. And then
Mm.
eventually ended up in the hospital again. But so I did drink on probation for a while. And, that was something I felt pretty guilty
Yeah.
about. But for no probation violations, no bad urine test, and got through it and did everything I had to for my probation, did my community service on time, paid all the fees, which was a very expensive. It was like with the
Yeah.
lawyer and everything, it was like a $6,000 infraction DUI. So you know it all added up,
I know
but
about
and
that.
it's still came back to bite me 2.5 years later when I got pulled over last week, and I
Mhm.
was like, oh yeah, back to that DUI. Let's talk about it again. Yeah.
Yep, it's gonna continuously I think it stays on your record forever or something like that. Not your record, but, driving record or something, 99 years? Something
Yeah,
like that. You can't
mine
get it expunged?
Mine, I fought so hard, I got it dropped to where it's not visible on my record anymore. So, like, if I
I don't
applied for
know.
a job or something, it wouldn't say DUI, it would say something else, but I can't remember what it is. But I know I paid for this good lawyer, and he got it dropped down to that. And as long as I didn't get in trouble for those 2 years, I was fine. And I ended up getting off probation a year early, which was cool. So
I hated probation. Probation was
yeah,
horrific for me, but I still drank.
especially if you're still
I
in
still
your
drank throughout
addiction.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're still in your addiction and
Yeah.
not actually following the terms of probation, it's like paranoia constantly. So
Well, I got arrested and then I tried to like go to meetings and stuff like that. And then I wasn't convicted right away. It took 2, 3 years for them to convict me because the woman showed up at that court. And then once I was convicted and I was heavier into my addiction, then I went on probation. So make that make sense? I don't know. But I drank throughout the whole entire probation. I just made sure not to drink like the day before or something like that, that I knew I would get tested.
yeah,
So
let's send out an apology to our POs. We're sorry. We're off probation now, but
don't remember your name, girl. Don't remember your
I
name.
remember mine. He was really cool. We were on a first name basis, and he was actually a pretty cool dude. But he did know that I cared about improving my life, and I did start going to meetings and stuff. And when I did my community service at the food bank, I actually continued to work there without after I got my hours. So like he was really impressed by that stuff. He knew I wanted to work on myself. I don't think I was honest about the extent of my problem at the time.
Well,
And you don't
yeah.
really want to
Yeah.
tell your probation officer, hey, I have a drinking problem. I don't know how to quit. Cause then it's like every day I'm going to come in and do a piss test. So I was just like, no,
Well,
I
yeah.
just got really fucked up that night. And, I don't really drink that often and I'll take it easy during probation. Yeah. So one of those
Yeah.
things where
It was a blur for
denial is
me.
a crazy thing.
I don't even that's how bad it is because I was actually in such active addiction and I was still prescribed my Xanax. So I was able to take
Yeah.
that. So
Yep.
I was able to just use that
Barbiturates.
actually more. Yeah.
Yep.
So I was able to just use that more. I had a note from my doctor. So use that to my advantage and drug of choice was alcohol. So I was fine. Just like I said, just don't drink before you go to probation. That's what I was thinking to myself. And I remember one time she pulled out a breath analyzer when I showed up. And I was like, thank
Yeah.
you, God, that I did not drink last night because it could still be in your breath or whatever. I mean, that even happened when I tried to start my car once. It went off.
Really.
The next day,
Jeez.
the very next day, like the next afternoon. So I came home, what, 4 or 5 in the morning of heavy night drinking, and then the next day at, like, 6 in the afternoon, I went to go use my car because I thought I was sober. 'Cause I really thought I was sober, I didn't drink, and I went about my day, I brushed my teeth numerous times, I ate, everything like that, and I went to go blow, and it went off, and I don't know, nothing bad ever came out of that, but it
Yeah, that's
stays in your
crazy how it stayed in
system.
your system. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
crazy. And I've
Well,
heard
that
about that happen
means,
to a lot of
a lot
people.
of alcohol.
Yeah,
Well, I was
those
drinking a
blow and go
lot.
things. Yeah, those things, don't they mess up your car too? I've heard they like are bad for your car to be installed and stuff.
It makes I mean, I could ask John, he's a mechanic. That makes maybe, like, what, the electric part of your car?
Yeah, I've heard people having problems after they get them taken out. Their car's never the same again or something. I don't know, but it could be
I
just a myth.
don't
Depends on the car,
I don't
but
know. I don't
but
have
in
that car anymore.
conclusion, the problems, the consequences of DUIs and the stuff we did during our addiction, they linger, but in recovery, we're capable of overcoming those things a lot easier.
Yep. Mhm. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the word yet? What does that mean to you?
Alright, so yet, I hear a lot of people say that word, and I'll address it, or even about myself. The word yet, I don't use it as an acronym or anything like that. I actually look at it more so like, life experiences haven't happened yet, but a lot of people use it in a negative way. Like, I haven't gotten sober yet. I haven't lost weight yet. I haven't started getting up at 5:30 in the morning yet, but I want to, like, and this goes into my discipline mentality. Stop saying the word yet and just do it. Do it
Yeah,
because, like, yet you're holding yourself back. Don't use that
yeah.
word.
I think it's cool that you're applying it to like positive things that you're supposed to be doing. You think you're supposed to be doing in recovery because like I don't always think of the word yet like, oh well, I haven't started getting into shape yet, or I haven't gone through all the steps yet, or this or that, or I
Mhm.
haven't made enough sober friends yet. But that's a good way to look at it, because the way I've always looked at it was like the things I was saying in active addiction, like, well, I'm going to continue drinking because I haven't spent all my money yet, or I haven't gone to jail for more than 30 days yet, or I don't have a
Yeah.
full blown criminal record yet. I haven't, and you haven't lost, a lot of people say they haven't lost their kids and family yet, or they haven't
Yeah.
lost their jobs yet. So there's all these things that you're basically telling yourselves lies. So like somebody told me yet stands for you're eligible to, which means that could happen to you. Just continue if you continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you say, like, in the addict mind saying it like that, you guys, when you say it like that, what are you waiting for? You're waiting to lose your family? You waiting to get more on your record? Are you waiting for that? Because that may not even be your rock bottom. You're gonna just go through that and continue, or what? So stop yourself and do what you need to do to get sober or to lose that weight or to feel better. And I know I sound tough, and I am. I give tough love. But if you're going to just talk about it and not be about it, to me, I'm just like, and it took me forever to get here, though. So it's not like, it's not easy to get sober. It's not easy to lose weight. It's not easy to better yourself, but just do it.
Yeah.
But it
Did you
took
tell
me
yourself
forever
that
to
when it
get
came to
here.
losing weight? Like, Were
Hmm.
you like, oh, I haven't lost 50 pounds yet or whatever, and you'd be hard on yourself?
Yeah.
That kind of thing? Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but you
In the
did. You
very
lost
beginning,
75 pounds or something.
80. I lost 80
80
pounds
now. Wow.
and 80 now. And yeah. And I'm still saying yes though because I am human, but now I'm like always looking for see it's a dopamine high for me. It's like working out. I'm chasing the next result, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
instead of losing weight now, I want another cut in my arm or another cut in my back or another cut in my thigh, which is why like my thighs are actually very, very cut up. So it's like, you know, so it's like I did say that in my weight loss journey, I would get on the scale and like, wow, like that's it. That's all I lost. Like I really want to be 150 pounds. I want to be 145 pounds. And I was like in my 200s. And I'm like, that's it. I've been eating salads only and walking every day.
I
And
know.
you
It
got to
gets
trust the
frustrating.
process.
Yep. It
Yeah.
does. It's a gradual thing, and it's like we want to see the transformation in the mirror overnight, basically. And it's like, no, that's why, like, before I started really working out again in November, doing 5 days a week, because I was just not doing it consistently. I was working out like 5 days, and then I'd take a break for a week, and then I'd work out 3 days and then take a break. But then in November, I took, like a kind of a before picture, and then took a picture today, and I'm like, okay, maybe I don't notice the progress every single week or day, but like
Hmm.
at least I see the progress, that I do look different than I did 3 months ago because I put hard work into it. And so the word yet, you're like, hey, I'm not where I want to be yet, but it's like that word can mean, but I still have the potential to get there if I keep doing what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There's always
it's a
potential
positive
for
word.
better.
Yeah, exactly. Even if I get to where I want to be, I still want to keep getting better than that, like physically and mentally. And I just want to keep getting stronger and not be hard on myself, because I have tons of insecurities. And a lot of people would think, like, why do you have insecurities and stuff? Like, you look fine or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm really hard on myself sometimes. And I'm
Hmm.
sure you are too. Like, you've lost 80
Yeah.
pounds, but you're still critical of yourself sometimes. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about the discipline. Me this morning not getting up. I'm like, well, the wedding, and I'm supposed to hit the 5 days. And I know my trainer, who's a close friend of mine, who could be listening to this, she wouldn't even kill me. Like literally. So she's gonna be at my wedding. But, she tells me all the time, like, you do need to relax though, because that is part of recovery. So it's, you're not gonna even get the results if you're pushing your body too hard. But even with, my daily tasks with yet, using the word yet, I'm in the medical field at my day job, I have scanning to do, okay? And if my manager is listening to this, whatever, love you, girl. So I have a pile. I have a pile of things that I have to scan. And I always say I have to wait until Thursday or Friday because yet, like the busy days, I have to get through the busy days because mentally I feel like I can't also get through that pile that I have. I don't
Yeah.
take medication for this ADHD. I raw dog it. Okay. So sitting and scanning a pile of things is not fun and easy for me to actually do. So I push it off. And that to me, I'm always saying yet in my mind though, like Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I'm like, I'm chipping away at it and I try, but I'm hard on myself. So I'm extremely hard on myself when I don't get through that whole entire pile of stuff by the end of Thursday. And I don't need to.
Yeah.
I could take my time as long as it gets
Yeah.
in the patient's chart.
Yeah, it's kind of like I was talking to this morning, somebody I meet up with every Wednesday, was just telling me, like, if you just visualize what you want something to turn out to be, like visualize your body, or like say you imagine the house that you want to build or whatever.
Mhm.
It's not going to just appear. You got to do every little detail, piece by piece by piece, to get it to where you want to be. It's everything's a process if you want the outcome to come out. And you can't just rush through things. You got to sit back and kind of dissect it and figure out how to do it the right way. So I
Yep.
thought that was a good
I don't want
analogy.
to.
He described it better, but
Yeah. Well, it is good. I mean, exactly though. I mean, that could go into the pile of things that I have to scan. If I rush through that, I could put it in the wrong patient's chart.
exactly. Yeah, and every patient
and
matters,
that's
so
not good.
yeah,
I mean, they do.
exactly.
You don't wanna put the
Yeah,
wrong EKG in somebody's chart when they need to go to cardiac surgery or something like that, and then you submit somebody's wrong EKG. Imagine what the fuck you could just do to somebody. No, you gotta pay attention in every job, but especially in the medical field. Like, this is serious. So, no, it's true, though. You do have to take your time, and I have to take my time with that pile. I can't rush in between
yeah,
patients and scan and throw my mind through a whole psychotic whirlwind with 17
exactly.
tabs.
And Rachel and I did an episode about patience a few months ago that you all should check out if you haven't heard it yet. But we talk about how, recovery and everything we do in recovery requires a lot of patience. So everybody, you should check that out if you haven't heard it yet. But we go into depth on that word quite a bit. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I love the word. I love the word yet, just meaning like I think it sometimes means some negativity things when you're in the midst of your addiction because you're justifying drinking, continuing to drink or use. And when you're in recovery, I think it can mean a lot of positive things because it means that you haven't done something yet, but you're going to get there. You're going to get to that point if you keep working towards it. And that's what we have to keep telling ourselves, like when your wedding and you were stressing out, like, well, your wedding's not canceled yet. And guess what happened? You got a
Right.
good result and the wedding's happening and then some. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And that brings me to think about Sober Strong. So
Yeah,
let's
let's
talk
talk
about
sober strong.
that.
Yeah.
So
And they
using the
haven't got
word
their
yet,
account back yet, but they're
yeah,
going to.
they have not.
Yeah.
They're going to, but that also goes into how that made us feel like, okay, so Sober Strong Apparel, they sponsor us and
Yeah.
it
They make
turned
this show
into
possible.
they make the show possible, but it turned into such a community and a group of people that I genuinely love.
Yeah.
And Chris just means so much to me personally. And that page not even being there when I go on Instagram at 5:30 in the morning because Chris is up at that time, that makes me sad
Yeah.
as hell. That makes me so
Me
sad,
too.
like a little
Yeah.
misty eyed right now. So
I know.
that that just made us feel that because we're trying to spread the word, we are spreading the word of recovery, and then it just happened to be through Sober Strong Apparel as well. And it gets taken down with no explanation. Mm, No, he has not gotten his Instagram page back yet. And if he doesn't, that's okay. The brand still lives on, and we're gonna keep pushing through and keep spreading the word. But that hit hard.
And a lot of beautiful things kind of showed up, like when I look at social media, I think, there's a lot of things that I would criticize about it, a lot of crazy things that happen, like, taking down an account for no reason at all, because there's nothing wrong with that account. Everything on it is positive and it promotes recovery. It promotes a mission that we all are a part of. But some beautiful things did come of it, though, because we all got to see the community come together and how many people
Yeah,
that brand affected, and how many people care about it and are passionate about it and want it back. And like you said, you wake up at 5:30, you want to check out and see what Sober Strong posted and what they're talking
yeah,
about right now, and I like to look at that stuff too. And tens of people, tens to 20 to 100 people, more than that, all these people that we call the Sober Strong crew come together and they're just like, how can we help, is so
yeah,
reflective of how great people are in this community, and how many people care about that brand specifically and how much it means to
yeah,
them, because we rock the clothing, great quality clothing,
mhm,
and it represents
yeah,
us and the struggle and the fact that we're a team and we're never alone. And the phoenix, on the clothing, the bear, everything just represents how we go into recovery. And we're hardcore about it and we rock the clothing. So to have that account down really hurts us a lot, but it is in a positive way. Gives us all a chance to show how much we really care about it, and we're talking about it as we speak. And we care about Chris,
yeah,
we care about his whole team and everybody who puts in work. I mean, they've all put in money to build the brand, time to build the brand. They've gathered the right people to represent the brand. So I mean, there's a
yeah,
lot of people affected by it, and we all teaming up though to get it back though, and I love that.
yeah. Yeah, it hit hard, and I couldn't help but, I'll be honest, I just really couldn't help but think about him, not just the brand too. I thought about him a lot that night, and then seeing the video of him, accepting, okay, like it's over. I tried, I appealed. You could see the hurt in his face, and you could hear it in his voice, and it really did. I'm not joking. It made me realize how much I really cared about him, how I cared about the
Yeah.
brand. Um,
Yeah. And you don't want his livelihood affected by this, and you feel really bad about it, You're like, what can I do to make this better?
mhm.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's just messed up. It's wrong. I don't know if he, and everybody who represents this brand, including him, we're all like genuine, authentic, real people. And if he did or he was doing something grimy, I wouldn't be sitting here right now
Yeah.
and defending it.
Exactly. Exactly.
No.
And we have his back because we know that he's got everybody's in recovery, best interest at heart, and there's no reason that account should be down at all. So it's nice to see
It'll be fine.
people coming in and speaking up for him and standing up for them and the whole brand as a whole, and ambassadors, people that just
Yep.
support the brand and love what it represents. I mean, it's good that people are coming back, and I think that will pay off, and I think that will help everything get recovered, and it'll go back to normal. And I think knowing his attitude and how he's entered his recovery and how he's used the brand to represent our recoveries, I think he'll come back even stronger from this. So, and I think the
Mhm.
brand will
Yeah.
be even stronger. I think more people will even know about it in the end, and I think people will want to wear Sober Strong even more than before, which it's already a very powerful brand that people love representing. So I think it'll get even better after this. I hope it
Yeah.
channels into something
It
positive.
will. It
Yeah.
will, and it brings back the little topic of yet. He made a video on TikTok. He didn't realize what he believes in things happen for a reason, which I do
Yeah.
too, but we don't
Yeah.
know what the reason is yet. We don't. We don't know what the reason is and why that happened, but I bet you something good is gonna come out of it. So,
Yep. I firmly believe that too. So we just gotta be patient and wait it
yeah,
out and do what we can in the meantime to talk about the brand with people and defend him and back him up and stand up for Sober Strong because we love the
yeah,
brand, not just because of the clothing and how amazing the clothing is itself and how good it looks, but just
right.
what it represents. We're all in recovery, we're all a team, and we're all fighting 24 hours a day, staying sober and trying to spread the word. So that's most important.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah, that's it. Just plain and
Yep.
simple.
That's it. Stand up
It
for
will
Sober
be okay.
Strong. Yep.
Stand up for
It'll
Sober
be okay.
Strong.
Yep. Anything else you want to chat about today?
I mean, I could go on for hours about anything.
No, I think we're good. No, we appreciate everybody tuning in today. We talked about some good
Mhm.
topics about chaos, the word yet, Sober Strong, and how we have their back, and
Yeah.
we love the brand, and we love that they've supported our podcast, and we definitely support them too. I would say 90% of the time I'm rocking Sober Strong. So if I'm
Yeah.
not, it's usually I'm at home lounging or something, and still wearing it
Mhm.
sometimes. So
It's comfortable. It's comfortable as
It's-
fuck.
it's thick, comfortable clothing, but we love
Yeah.
it. So thank you for everybody listening to a long-awaited episode with Ryan and Rachel. So thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah.
All right.
Rock Bottom with Ryan. No bullshit, just recovery.